Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to go over the new Fate hero called Chronos, the Primordial Touch. Her name is the time-related thing. I don't really follow mythologies, but yeah, overall it should have been something related to the time manipulation, which can be seen from her kit. Overall, she's pretty strong on the paper, but there's some polishing to do, and I believe if they do listen to my feedback that I have provided them, that she will be actually really good and not actually too strong for Lucifer, but somewhat on the par with her. There are a few skills that I don't like, there are a few things that are too RNG, but overall, once they polish that, if they do polish that, they should be about equal on Lucifer, and even then Lucifer should still stand her ground against her because of this continuous stat steal that she has. So let's go over her skills. The final advent is her ultimate, deals up to X amount of damage to enemies cast in round 2, which is pretty standard, and then her skill is deals damage to all enemies cast in round 3. This is the standard, so nothing really exclusive here. So let's go over to the most important things, which are the passives. At the start of each round, there is 50% chance to temporarily multiply all allies attack, defense, max HP by 4 until the end of the round. Now this skill is very iffy, it could be actually too broken, it could be actually really irrelevant, because it's kind of like similar to Lilith, although Lilith is 200% and it's not multiply, it's just increase. So overall this skill will be very iffy because it will depend on how it actually multiplies, and it's probably going to be all active skills or rather all active stats that are currently applied. So something like 9 synergies would be insanely broken, or 10 synergies if we get it next season. So playing something like the Dooms with 9 synergies with this hero, multiplying all of these stats they gain, should make them pretty unkillable, even though they would not be as strong otherwise. So yeah, it will all depend on when is this applied, whether how it's coded against Lucifer, so whether it goes first and then Lucifer will steal all of those stats, meaning Lucifer will be even more crazier against her, or it will be going after Lucifer, so Lucifer will steal your stats and then she will multiply pretty much nothing. So yeah, overall Lucifer seems to be countering this stat in all means, so I don't think Lucifer will be power crept by that. And yeah, I did ask them to put this to 100%. I dislike having a hero of Fate here to be relying on RNG, and also this one right here, so it's all about RNG in this kit, which I really dislike. I asked them to remove that and make it 100% at either max stars or something, but spending money on a Fate that is just percent chance to something happen is bad in my opinion. When it comes to temporal echo, I believe it will be a good skill if it's good coded, and I do believe it will be countered by Lucifer, but we have yet to see about that, and we will see how it actually works against something like the Loki's Crown, which converts all buffs into debuffs, so maybe it will work against these two. Vanquisher or something like that. We will have to obviously test all of this, but so far this seems pretty promising as long as they make it 100% and as long as it multiplies all stats currently active by 4, so even though you start battle with 9 synergies, you will have insane amounts of stats. And yeah, hopefully it works that way. Her next passive skills is Aeon Eclipse. At the start of each round, each ally has 66% chance to reset their ultimate cooldown. Now this is basically Lucifer but RNG. This is what Lucifer does. Lucifer reduces allies' active skill cooldown by 2 rounds and ultimate cooldown by 1 round. So this is just Lucifer weaker version of her. I did also ask this to make it 100%. It just simply makes no sense to be 66%. It's just so bad. And it's such a simple skill for a Fate hero. I really dislike it. So if it will be 100%, each round you will have your heroes casting ultimate, which means you can simply forget about this part right here. So I guess that's why they kept it at 66% chance, but this is just worse because if you don't hit this 66% chance at the first round, you will just be using your basic attacks, and against Lucifer that's a major drawback because Lucifer makes all allies cast their ultimate in the first round. So overall, not a fan of this. Hopefully it goes up to like 100% or 75% or something, and could add like another line of text which is same for the skill, so this way we can actually ignore basic attacks, because basic attacks are so much weaker than the active and the ultimate skills against Lucifer, so it will just be bad. So yeah, overall the first passive skill has insane potential, but I believe will be countered by Lucifer, and the second passive is just a weaker version of Lucifer's cooldown reduction on the ultimates and active skills. Now keep in mind, I'm only comparing them because I will be making a guide whether to summon on Lucifer or Chronos after she is released. So yeah, I kind of have to do this because of the guides and how to guide the new players towards. But yeah, overall, I hope they are both about equal in the tiers, and I hope they're both equally strong when it comes to their kits. Her ult force is Desolate Exile, so after each action, Chronos increases all allies and the reduced enemy skill multipliers by 100% up to 200%. Now this I also dislike because Lucifer goes all the way up to 2000%, whereas this one goes only up 200%, which might be a typo. It might be actually 2000% as well. In that case, Chronos will be obviously better because she also reduces enemy skill multipliers, but Lucifer doesn't. So Lucifer will only increase yours, but Chronos will also increase yours and decrease enemies. So overall, this part should be better for Chronos. And in the PvP and GVG modes, Chronos has 100% chance to apply Banish to a random enemy for 2 rounds at the start of each round. Additionally, she increases the execute threshold for enemies by 50%, making allies much harder to be executed. This is just a straight up counter to the Valiantors like Hades or Valiantor's Relic Synergy, as well as the Phoenix Pet. Those are the only sources of the execute pretty much right now, so that's a straight up counter to the PvP pet. And when it comes to Banish, Banish was a seasonal hope tree in the season 6 and season 7, maybe even season 8. And it was countered by many things, mostly Arthur. Arthur was the one that got it into his kit because Banish was so strong that they just simply added him effect to actually reflect the banish as well. I'm not sure if it's written in here, so it's not actually written, but he has chance to reflect any debuffs. So this is a CC, this is also a debuff, and Arthur can reflect it back. Another way to deal with banish is just simply deploying 2 Glorians, which will give you 4 Glorians in a team, so 1 Fate Glorian and 1 someone like Loki, and you're pretty much safe for the first 2 or 3 rounds against Banish, so making it completely useless. But apart from that, Banish is basically the Hades Soul Devourer. It makes entirely the enemy hero out of the battle, and it can win you a game. If there's only 1 banished hero left or 2, you can win a game by that. So it's kind of a better version of Hades Soul Devourer, because the enemy is actually completely out of the field and doesn't do anything, but it can be played around. So has a counter and is not going to be something great because the Monoglorians are kind of dominating the PvP right now, so it will be very weak against them, against the Monoglorians with Lucifer. But yeah, maybe even the tree will be able to seal this passive, so it might be ineffective for the first 2 rounds. So yeah, overall plenty of ways to actually play around Banish, but it's good to see that they are bringing an old effect back that was actually strong. So yeah, overall I'm happy with it, but I would like it to be slightly updated to not be able to be played around with so many things. Another way you can play around it is in the Hope Tree position 1. You can go to the right side and you can remove any kind of control effects, which Banish is one of them. So yeah, overall her outforce is pretty strong as long as this is 2000% instead of just 200%. So as long as it can match Lucifer, it will be good. Her PvP side is pretty strong, especially the immunity against the Phoenix. So overall, kind of a strong outforce, but as I said, her first and second passives are pretty weak because there are 2 RNG to rely on, and Lucifer should be able to be better than them and especially counter this part right here. And lastly, her rune effect is absolutely broken, but I'm pretty sure it will be countered by the 3 seal effect, so yet again unable to counter the tree with it. But so far, if you go with your own tree or make your team live for the first 2 rounds, which is definitely possible, the tree is not all that unbeatable with gate as well. So overall, they should have infinite value, especially in the Dooms or Avengers with Primordial Ardina. This can lead to immortal team pretty much with Hades as well, making him even better in the Paladin Hades comp. So yeah, it gives all allied heroes, when they take fatal damage, they have a 100% chance to gain invincibility for 2 rounds, and it can trigger 2 times per battle, so it works on all allies. It's basically Victoria's outforce on all allies, and it triggers multiple times during the battle. Yes, there is counters to the execute. The first counter is going to be the tree. You can definitely counter heroes with the tree and execute them through it, and the other counter would be the Sarvijan Ayushta's Demon Heart. it can also pierce through the invincibility and actually kill heroes through it. So there's definitely a counters, and it's really good because we do need counters. We cannot have heroes that are unable to be countered in any way. So yeah, even Lucifer has counters like up to 3 or 4 nowadays. But yeah, the rating for this hero, I'm not going to be guaranteeing it's going to be broken unless they polish these effects that I have mentioned. So increasing the odds to 100% and increasing the odds here to 100%, or actually just adding another line of text like this, but for the active skills, so you don't really have to do basic attacks because it will be weaker in the PvP and PvE against Lucifer, increasing the skill multipliers up to 2000% to match Lucifer, or even going further to be better. And for the banish, it's good, but it has plenty of ways to be played around. So overall, this hero should be strong on paper as long as they polish her and actually make her slightly better, and they should be equal to Lucifer, and the Lucifer should be better in the mirror matchups because of the stat steal. So even though Chronos multiplies your stats by a lot, Lucifer should just be stealing them and feeding herself off of it. So yeah, these two should definitely shape up meta, and we will see how it goes. And these leaks are just pretty much temporarily. Not all of the skills will be the same. Even banish could be changed. Even these percentages could be changed by the time the hero is released. Remember, the anniversary is in the week 7 to week 8, so there's still plenty of time to play around her skills. And here is how she actually fully looks. So we weren't supposed to actually show this, but Jonathan, the other YouTuber for the Omniheroes community, did leak it already, so it's kind of pointless to wait now and not show. But yeah, overall, this is how she looks. Unfortunately, the image isn't in full quality, but overall, I really do like the team. I really do like space things, the gods, everything is pretty much feeling for her. So yeah, overall, she fits the Celestial team, and I do really like it. Not sure about you, feel free to leave your thoughts on her kit or on her looks, but overall, I'm quite satisfied. And as I said, she only needs few polishing on her kit to be absolutely broken and on the top of the tier of Lucifer, in my opinion. Hopefully there will be both good. I don't really want one to be dominant and the other to be like second tier, like the currently is Lucifer dominant and Hela is like a second tier fate. So I don't really want that. I would wish they would be on the equal level. So yeah, thank you for watching and see you guys in the next one.